Let's go over the right hand side here. Here I have my file folder. So this is where if I want to pick up another embroidery design, I could go there. These are my colors. And this is the actual, what I call embroider, when you hit this one. So I hit the needle on there to embroider. Now it's telling me to put it on it. Your machine would go through a setup called the Bernina Embroidery. Arm will move, and it will ask you to put it on or take off your hoop. Follow the instructions. So I've now put my hoop on. Green. It now did the Bernina burp. See where I hit the needle? This is where if I wanted to start stitching, I could go ahead and do that. Let's just go, we're going to go through these. Here's where I was. This is telling me that I have 5 colors in here. And we can also change the brand. This is one of our floor models here, so it's coming up with the Bernina ones. This was our embroider. So let's talk about what these mean. This is what's called a basting box. So if you were doing applique on top of here, I would highly recommend doing a basting box around your applique fabric. Now, a lot of us will use the tape to tape it down, or you can just have it stitched, and it just does a big basting stitch so that your applique fabric does not move. This one checks the position of our design. So if we want to move it over to the right, to the left, to the top, or to the bottom, we could do that. Now you'll see my breadcrumbs up here, so I can go back. This will become very, very important if we have a thread break, and I'm actually going to do a thread break, the first project, and then we're going to go back to where we need to pick up, and then what I'm going to do is go past that because we want to overstitch the area where it thread broke. So again, hit the breadcrumbs. This is our cut. This is where we can do some color shifting. My little bunny, I'm going to make it go really fast. So let's go back up to our pencil. This is where we can do editing. So think of this as editing. This is the time to stitch. Here are my colors. Now, here we only have one layer of embroidery. If I wanted to repeat the apple and put it on 2, I would hit this. I can go into my Bernina's designs. Now you'll see I have 2 layers. And I can rotate through them. So I'm on layer 2. Let's move this one up. As you can hear that my hoop is moving as well. Tap on layer 1. Let's move that down. Let's go over here. Back up to layer 2. Let's move that. And we can see that our apple's a little on the big side. Now I have 2 appliques I'm going to do on this. You could just keep adding layers. Now look, this layer here shows them together. If I wanted to only stitch layer 1 out, I just tap on 1, hit the stitch. I wanted to stitch out layer 2 and stitch. Let's go into the eye. There's where a lot of wonderful stuff is. I want to make sure I'm on the right layer, which is the layer with all of my designs. Now you notice that I actually used my finger, so I tapped and dragged it. I could also tap on this layer 1 and I could use this move. And it's by the XY axis. I could do that, or I could have just used my finger as I did. So my next one is to rotate it. Well, you'll see that my bottom left-hand corner apple is facing north and south. Let's try this. Go 90 degrees. 90 degrees. Let's have him faced east-west. This one is mirror image. If you watch the top one, you'll see I have this embroidery one selected. see that it flips from. Now this one I can flip up and down. Made my apple go upside down. Now this one is my duplicate. I already did a duplicate. Let's take this design and delete it. Am I sure? Yes. Oh. We're going to use this feature. So now I only have one layer. Choose this. Now it's duplicated. Now I can move this. As you can see, I find it's much easier to drag it back to our eye. I have two facing east-west. Check. This is really important. Just going to check to see if it fits inside of your hoop. Now remember, I'm only on that top apple. Let's check this one. Let's check. Now I know that it'll fit in the hoop. And this is the density of our stitches. And we'll talk about that in our terry towel stitch out. Okay, so we're going to set up some designs for editing. So I just want to get rid of everything I've been doing. So I'm now back to my apple design. I've loaded it from the USB stick. Now what I want to do is I want to center this. Let's hit our eye. I'm just going to bring this down. Now if I hit this one here, let's just move this out here. And let's hit this. Brings me right back to my center. So if you accidentally move your design, don't worry, this brings you back to the center. And that could be really important because if you're adding design, so if I hit my plus again, add that design. Now they're layered over top each other. Now on level 2, let's move level 2 up. Let's tap on layer 1, move this one down. And let's just say, you know what? I need to start at the beginning because I don't like what I did. That's going to move this back to center. And I can just hit my eye. That just takes me up one level as opposed to exiting out of this and having to hit. So I hit that. Now I have to go back into eye. So these are your breadcrumbs that are on the right hand side of the screen. Eye brings me back. Let's just rotate. I want to rotate the one that's in the top right hand corner. So I'm going to tap on layer number 2. Turn it that way. Let's tap on this one, my bottom one, and let's rotate that one. I want to go the other way, and we're going to move this one down. Now you do have a plus magnifying glass here, so we can actually see a little better what I am doing. So you may find that's easier to move things. Here is my source. Got a little red box around what I'm working at, and here's my detailed area. If I tap on them, the red box changes, and my layer now shows me on layer 2. And then I can go back. I'm back to my regular screen. So we're going to do our check function one more time. So it just checked my top right hand design. This is going to be the center point of that. Now we're going to work on that when we actually do our applique.